What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Barbers Talk, episode 2. First off, I want to say thank you to my sponsors, Road Day Repair, Licks. I appreciate you, brother. That's my boy Alex. If y'all need any work, holla at my man. Shout out to the Cactus House for letting me use their equipment for this episode. Shout out to Strives for taking the time out of his day to let y'all know more about himself, but as well throw y'all some gems that help him become successful in our industry. At the beginning of the video, I made a rookie mistake. I forgot to press record. So the video is gonna awkwardly start with his response on how he met Marvel Marv. I hope y'all enjoy. If you ain't a real nigga, get the fuck away from me. In other words, go long. Bitch nigga, cause you don't want me to provide. I say you don't want me to put my staff hands on. Don't bitch nigga.
Leave me on red, or he would just like
Yeah,
whatever. He didn't
throw
know
it off.
me, right? So I'm like, all right. So I end up running into him and his partner in like New Jersey at another show where I was competing at. And I said what up to them and all that, kind of kept it moving. And then I ran into him again in Connecticut, and chopped it up with them. And then I went to their event and I launched like my first product line.
Yeah.
Uh, so that was just a pomade I was creating. I made myself. Grammy Afterglow was the line, the product line, and I dedicated that to my grandmother when she passed. So it was Grammy Afterglow because that's what I called her, Grammy.
Uh-huh.
And in her obituary card, she said she wanted to leave an afterglow of smiles.
Oh,
Uh,
true.
I was like, there's always like an afterglow about the client when they
Yeah,
leave, right? So
always.
I was like Grammy, and they think Grammy Awards, So I was
Yeah.
like Grammy Afterglow, boom, put it together. So that was my first product. I launched it there, and then I still hit Marv up. I'm like, yo, I see you going to all these shows, bro. If, you can let me know when anyone, if there's any shows and blah blah blah. So he hits me back and he goes, I'm going to a show next week. There's one in like Massachusetts. I was like, all right. So he didn't like invite me to go with him. He just said there's a show that I'm going to. I
Yeah.
said, all right, I'm gonna be there. And and I didn't drive at the time, so I still don't drive right now, but I still figured out ways how to get to these shows, whether it was paying somebody or just getting my one of my boys, one of my day ones. He always rocked with me to these shows. Um, so I end up going to the show, and I see him there, and he was surprised to see me. Uh, so and then I messaged him after the show, and I was like, "Yo, good to see you, bro. Thank you for letting me know about this event. I got some knowledge from it. It was dope. Blah blah blah." So I think it was a couple weeks later, there was like another event, and I think he hit me up and asked me if I wanted to go and split a booth. And I was like, yeah, for sure, because he knew I had my
Yeah,
product line.
for
So
sure.
I said, yeah, say no more. I'll meet you there. Like, just give me the address and how much is it gonna be. So we split our booth, and from there, it was at that show that he, told me I'm gonna be opening up my own shop, and blah blah blah. I said, oh, word. I said, yo, because at this point, my shop, that the first shop I was at for 7 years, started to get real ghetto.
Yeah.
And and there's nothing wrong with the ghetto shops. I had a lot of fun in my shop. I had a lot of fun in every single shop I've been in, but there comes a time where it's like I'm losing clients
Because of the
because
appearance of the shop.
of the appearance, because I'll give you just an example. There was
Uh-huh.
dice being thrown, right? So when somebody's getting mad that they're losing their money, and it
Get you
says I'm gonna
louder.
come back and shoot the place up and blah blah blah, but I got two kids and a father in there,
Yep.
and they're in the shop acting up. The father was like, bro, what's going on? And I'm like, bro, I don't know.
Yeah. I have
So,
no idea.
hmm so I said to Marv, I said, do you have an extra chair? And at that point, he said, nah, I got a full shop, but if something happens, I'll let you know. I said, all right, awesome. Let me know. One of my clients who left me because of how bad the shop was getting
Yeah.
hit me up probably a month or two after me and Marv had this conversation. And he said, yo, Jay, I know it's been a while and I know I haven't been there, but unfortunately I couldn't bring my son there anymore. He's getting older to where he knows what's going on and he can understand the bad language and bad, whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, bro, I totally get it. It's okay. And I was trying to uplift the shop. I redid the whole shop. It wasn't mine. I painted it. I did a
Oh
whole
damn.
bunch of stuff. And I was trying to use hot towels and nobody was on board with it. Um, so, so my client texts me and he's like, I think this shop will be a very good shop for you. And so immediately, I don't even think I responded. I just texted Marv. I said, yo, word on the street is you got an open chair. And I think my client texted me literally after he left the shop.
Uh-huh.
So I said, he said, wow, good news travels fast. And I said, yeah. I said, what's up? So he says, well, why don't you come down for an interview or whatever this day, whatever. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be there. And at this point, I was in cosmetology school. So I was cutting all the time. I was in school all week. Um, and so I would get out of barber school and I was supposed to go to Marv's shop to meet him and
Yeah.
talk with the other barbers and whatever. So at this point there's a huge fire burning like right down, like just knocking blocks out, bro, and my house is like right behind this big fire. And I call Marv or I text him or something. I think I called him. I said, bro, I said, I don't know. You seen the fire, right? He's like, yeah, because it was all over the news. I said,
Yeah.
bro, it's like a block and a half away from my house. I don't know if I'm going to meet you. I'm not sure. And he kind of like, what he said was like, pretty much like, yo, if you don't make it, then
It's
like, I don't,
open. It's still open.
he said pretty much like, if you don't make it, meeting has been okay. So I just had a pop up.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me turn that.
so the vibe that I got was if I don't make it to this, I don't know if I'm gonna be in this shop, right?
Yeah.
So I literally there's smoke everywhere. They got things barricaded off. Nobody can go into their house like at all. They were evacuating. So I had to tell the cops that had everything blocked off. I said I have to get in my house. I had like social security card. I had like cash. My dog was there. Or no, I think my mom went and grabbed my dog before that. But I had like family heirlooms, like my
Yeah.
grandmother's clock
Yep.
and stuff like that. Like I just had to go get the important stuff out, and then I made it to the interview. And I think we signed papers like a week and a half later, and so that's where me and him really started to develop a relationship, especially when I got into the shop. So I get into the shop, and I'll keep this moving. So I get into the shop, and we're grinding, and all my clients follow me, which was scary because I really didn't think I was gonna have as many people rock with me and travel that far.
Yeah.
Because my clientele was built all around the small shop that I was in. But everybody started traveling farther to
How
come
far
see me.
was it, if you don't mind me asking?
Bro, it was only like 20. It was only like a 25 minute
Oh,
drive.
okay, true. That's not
But
bad.
in a small town, people don't do that shit.
Yeah, at all.
Out here in Texas,
Yeah.
people are driving 40 minutes, an hour to come see me and
Yeah.
sit in my chair or sit in somebody else's chair that cuts next to me. So like people drive out here, but back in New York in my small town, nobody drove really for damn, that's too far. I ain't
Okay.
driving,
Yeah.
or I ain't gonna take a bus. And back then there wasn't Uber, so or no, back then when I made the move, there was Uber. It like just came to
To the
New York.
area.
Yeah. So that's what really helped me make the leap too, because I wasn't going to be taking, I reached out to him when he was farther away from me
Yeah.
in his partner shop, but I was like, I can't do a taxi that far. So, um, so yeah, so we start building, and then Marv says to me, yo, Jay, I got a show coming up, bro. You want to go? This is the date. You might want to book a flight or whatever the case was. I said, all right, say no more. Started booking my flights, and I was there, and and I kept working. I was like, he was my mentor. He's
Yeah.
a
For
very
sure.
knowledge. He's got so much knowledge and wisdom, and that's my guy. I might even call him when I get off this this chat and say, "Yo, what's good?" I just talked to him yesterday. I talked to him, a lot. Um, so and so I start traveling with him, and I start capturing all his footage for him, because I think his wife and his cousin was traveling with him, but his cousin kind of fell off, and
Yeah.
just he's young, so it wasn't what he wanted to do. It was what I wanted. Like me and Mark, we had kind of the same mindset when it came to travel. And sometimes his wife, she'd be tired. She works a job and then she's traveling and then she's
Yeah, for
working.
sure.
But like for us, it's different because we
Yeah.
love that shit.
Yep.
We love going to these shows. We love talking. So I had no problem picking up my camera and following him around
Yeah.
and shaking hands and meeting new people. And it was, and I just put in a lot of hard work. And and with that came a huge respect, I think, from him. And I I still say thank you to him for putting me on,
Yeah, for sure.
because
He's
he.
I like Marv, bro. I actually um I watch his social media every day, bro. His Instagram every day. He has a lot of good content on his stuff, bro. A
Mm,
lot of good content, and hopefully soon I can have him on here too because he knows a lot about our industry, bro. And he knows a lot of gyms. He knows how to promote himself. He knows everything, bro. Especially about social media promoting. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
man, bro, that dude, he knows a lot, bro. He
Oh
knows a
yeah.
lot. I've known Marv since, I think when I first ran into Marv was 2 years ago at the no when y'all I think he just did with you in San Antonio,
Mm, the People's Barber.
the People's Barber Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
was
So
nice,
no,
bro.
he was hosting and I was judging.
Yeah, he was hosting. There you go. That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's where I
that was
first
a
met
good
Marv,
show.
bro.
That was a really good show. Um, and I talked to Rick too,
Yeah,
the People's Barber, and I can't wait for this to be over. I'm like so ready to get back to getting to these shows, and and being with the Barber family again. Like
yeah, for sure.
I
Have
hate.
you competed in any shows, bro? Have you
I have never
placed?
placed.
You've never placed?
Never.
There's nothing wrong with that though.
It's crazy how, like, because like I competed literally I think 2 times, and then I launched my product. So I seen it. So I've been in every single thing that there is. I've taught everything that goes in these shows. I've been behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I've done it all. So
study.
I've seen the shows from every angle, right? Um, and for me it was just like to compete. For me, it wasn't there. I
Yeah,
didn't. I had fun. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I had fun, but once I wanted to bring more to the barber industry, and that's why I came up with a product, because I wanted to talk more with barbers. I wanted to
Uh-huh.
be there. I wanted to be in the
Interact
mix,
more with them. Yeah,
bro, right on the floor in the
yeah,
trenches. So
yeah.
it's just like being up on stage. I've been there, as far as being a competitor, and and I give props to everybody who can get up there, because especially if they've never done it, it's definitely hard.
Oh,
And
yeah, it's
once
nerve wracking, bro.
you,
I compete, bro. I've gotten 3 awards. Never got first yet. I got two second and one third, but it's nerve wracking, bro. It's definitely not like being in the shop regularly at all.
nah,
Cause
nah. And
man,
and here's the other thing, like the Texas show, that was so hot on stage. Did you compete
bro,
there?
yes,
You did. It
yes,
was so hot and sweaty, and and it's just like some of these shows, you never know what you're gonna get. You
yeah,
never know, like, power goes out, or time don't stop if the power strip goes
yeah.
bad on you. So like hair dryer goes because you don't have no power. It's like, how are you supposed to finish this classic
Yeah,
style?
exactly. That
Because there's
happened.
so
I had a something happened to me right there at the. Have you heard of the Palooza in San Antonio? Lisi and Rico show,
I don't
the
think
Hair
so.
Palooza. I was
I feel
competing
actually,
there,
yes,
bro.
I think I have heard of that.
Yeah, I was competing there, and some lady dropped my ring light on my table, bro.
Mm.
So like my guards and some of my clippers fell, and time didn't stop, and I was in the middle of a design, so it took me like probably like almost 5 minutes to pick up everything, and time didn't stop, bro. So I didn't even get to
Nope.
finish that one. I
Mm-hmm.
was upset, man. I was real upset about that one. I was
Yo,
real.
I got a story, right? So, and then we'll keep moving. So this was when I was competing. It was like my second competition. The first one, we were supposed to have a certain amount of time, and
Yeah.
like because how shit at these shows, like it's like they don't start on time because the barbers show up late,
Yeah.
and and then the attendance isn't there when it's supposed to be. So like shit gets pushed back, which means that they need to have time cuts, and I didn't know all this shit when I was first starting, right? So so I'm like, I get there and I didn't realize, things weren't running smooth or whatever. So I had my whole game plan, right? How I was gonna cut this dude, how I was gonna style him, and I think Jay Majors was hosting, and he's like, you know what? So for this event or what this competition,
Competition. Yeah.
yeah, this competition, y'all should be able to do a fade and beard in 30 minutes. Y'all don't need 45. So we cut the time, right? And I'm like, fuck. I went there, this is my first competition, and I'm like, I'm going there with a Wolverine. I told my boy, yo, just let it go.
Oh,
Cause I'm gonna have. So I'm like,
you
damn,
want a
like
big
this,
transformation for that one.
yeah, in
15
30
minutes is a
minutes,
lot too when it
like
comes to cutting
15
hair.
minutes is
It's a
crucial.
lot, bro.
So I went there with a whole game plan, and but that's life. Shit
Yep.
changes, right? So the second one, right? The second one, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a time. I'm gonna start a. I pull my phone out. I start the stopwatch so I know, so I can look and see how much time I got. Bro, I had like 12 minutes or something left, and and I was doing like a pompadour, right? And he comes over the mic, and he goes, 5 minutes left, 5 minutes left, and I'm like,
Oh,
hold up,
damn.
wait a minute. I think this was like exotics or something. I think this is why I lost because I called him out. I said to one of the judges, and I think it was Showtime. You know Showtime?
Yeah, yeah, I know who he
It's
is.
Showtime.
Yeah.
I think I called him over. I said, bro. I said, what's going on, bro? I started a stopwatch so I knew how much time I got, and y'all saying we got 5 minutes left. And I know, like now I know what happened, because most
Yeah.
people don't do that shit. Most
Yeah.
people don't set a timer and they just listen for
Yeah.
the time. But my ass, I was like, yo, I'm gonna set this time so I just keep looking at the time and I'm good. And I think he went up and he's like, yo, this motherfucker just called us out on our shit.
Uh,
Like, yo, this motherfucker Jay the Barber. At the time, I was like Jay the Barber.
Jay,
I was
yeah.
like Jay Stroud.
Yeah.
So, so they're like, this fucking clown, just called us out on our shit, yo. Make sure this dude don't fucking win. And so I think for that one, that's why I didn't place. And then as I went to more shows, I started talking to people, and
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I want to bring more to the industry. I need to be on the floor talking to everybody walking through. So then that's when I came out with my product. Um, but where were we at before I got sidetracked? We was talking about Marv or
We're talking
something.
about Marv, yeah, and how he influenced or how he helped you come up and how you were helping him around and how y'all became
Yeah.
close.
So after it was like 2 years um, of working with him in the shop and really, building a lot of barber love and family love, and we are family. I decided that I was ready to open my spot, which I told them, going into it, that I had at least 2 years until I was gonna open my own.
Yeah.
So it was like a few months shy of my 2 year mark, um, and so whatever. So I go and I open my spot, and August made, or wait, I think it was like the end of June or July, somewhere around there. That made it a year for my shop. So when I came to Houston, my my shop wasn't even a full year that I had it.
Yeah.
I gave it to one of my barbers that I had. I had a barber and a stylist rocking with me, and the barber, he came out of nowhere. I guess one day, like I was always booked over there, so he came walking in trying to get a haircut, and I didn't have nobody there with me. And I said, I gave him a business card. I said, yo, got download Booksy. Right now I'm booked. I'm usually booked when I get here, but I have no time today. And I just gave him a card. It was like weeks later, months maybe. he like slides in the DM and says, "Hey, you looking for a barber?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, bro." And he goes, "I stopped in a while back, trying to get a cut, but you was busy and you gave me your business card." And I was like, "Dude, why didn't you just say I'm a barber? Do you need any help?" Like, you
He
didn't
got
even
nervous.
ask me. You know, you was gonna wait to sit in the chair and tell me you were a barber. That's what he told me. He was like, "Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna get my hair cut first and then tell you that I was a barber." And I'm like, "Dude, wow, I've been needing you for a long
for a
time."
long time, yo. On
So,
back to my bad, bro. I don't mean to interrupt you. Um, how you said you opened a shop, bro? What are some keys to keeping a shop successful, man? Like, what's the main thing about bringing clients in, or what keeps clientele flowing through the shop, as far as walk-ins or all that stuff? You
um,
know what I'm saying?
so location,
Locate. Oh,
location,
that's a big part. I noticed that. I
yeah,
noticed that here over here in West Texas, bro. This is
location
where
is
the money's
key.
at. But
For sure, location. I think parking is big. If you don't have parking, if you don't have like a parking lot,
uh huh.
I think that's tough. Um, because if it's all street parking and there's
Yeah,
people who live around and it's tough, bro,
gets
like
annoying for
nobody's,
them.
yeah, like that's key to building the business is definitely having parking, definitely location. Um, and and word of mouth, that's the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing, is people talk. And you know cleanliness is the next thing. So if the bathrooms are clean,
Yeah.
if the shop is clean, if the shop is smells good when they come in,
Mhm.
and that is key. You can do Google and do that and bring some people in, but like big factor too with Google, like out here it's different. Like you could do a huge 12 to 20 mile radius because people drive out here. But like in a small town, if you're gonna do a Google ad, most of the time people aren't gonna drive 45 minutes to a little shop. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? When there's like 20 other shops on the way. Like that's
Yeah.
just how it is in a small town.
Yep.
Uh, because there's so many little shops and there's so
Mhm.
many like different barbers. Usually people in small towns find a spot and they stick it out. Even if sometimes if their barber's just like kind of like an average barber, they'll go to the next average barber in the
Yeah.
shop. You really got to stand out. And I think providing service, and you'll see, I know you see, that's all I preach.
Yep.
Service is key.
Go ahead
If
and speak some more about that on here too, bro. About that mainly. That's a big thing in our industry is
Mhm.
service, because that can kill you or that could help you, one or the other.
Oh yeah, for
It can
sure.
keep them coming or it can throw them away. So
Yeah. So like I guess for me, I have all the options on my booking app. It's like I got the quick in and out client
uh huh.
option. If you want that in and out cut, I'm gonna get you done in 20 minutes.
Yep.
Like, but it's there for them.
Yep.
I got the high class whatever who wants that full hour and a steamer and a massage or whatever. Like I got
Mhm.
every single option for each type of client. So
Nice.
I think that also will help, you got to have that type of thing so who's sitting in your chair.
Yeah.
Because if you got somebody who just wants the in and out and you stretching their haircut and you giving them the flawless fade
Yeah.
and you hitting them with the hot towel and the massager and they don't want all that, chances are they ain't gonna come back.
Yeah, they're not coming back. They're gonna go and say, "Oh, he took forever. He did this, this, and this. I didn't even ask for it." I've heard it
Right.
all, bro. I've heard it all, and I haven't even been in art. I've been barbering, bro, 3 years max. I started off in the oil field over here, and then I just didn't like it, bro. I like I said, I got daughters, and
Mm-hmm.
I had no life. Money's good, but there
Right.
was no life into it. And I was already cutting on my block. I was cutting my friends across the street. They would get like a 1 and a 0. That
Mm-hmm.
was my practice. And
Mm-hmm.
then my brother kind of helped me step up little by little, doing clients. Threw me in the shop for a little bit, and I started learning, bro. And really, that's me being in the shop is what helped me improve more
Right.
than anything.
For sure.
More than
That's it all happens in the shop, man. It really does. Like you don't get that shop vibe until you're in it. If you don't get it like in school,
oh no.
you're only in school to pass a test.
Yep.
Like they're only there to teach you how to pass a
Yep.
test. You ain't learning how to do no. drop fades. You ain't learning how to do, like you ain't learning.
Exactly. That's one thing I noticed too. Thank God that the school here. I actually transferred from Lubbock. I was in Lubbock going to school. Then I transferred here to Midland to the new one, and she's actually pretty updated, bro. That's one thing I noticed, that she keeps
Mm,
updated with as far as like braids, the fades, the
mm,
designs. You have to do designs in this school over here, bro. It's
that's
it's
dope.
it's dope, bro. Because like a lot of schools, they don't teach you that stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of
Well,
like
there's this dude Blanco's
Blanco,
flawless. He's in Dallas.
Blanco.
Blanco, yeah, Caesar. But Blanco, I think it's Blanco 89 on Instagram. He's dope. His shop vibe is dope, and like he, he's got the like a dope school, and he's a good instructor.
Uh huh.
Um, and like all his students are dope, and he's got like 6 or 7 shops, and like a lot of his students go from his school to
To
one
his
of his
shop.
shops.
Is he the one that does a lot of the texture work? Is
Um,
it him?
I haven't seen him do any like real texture, but
Oh, okay. I think I'm thinking of Bet.
I'll tag him on or tag you, and I'll send it to you through Instagram,
Bet.
and you can check him out. But he's on the up and up. He does a lot of work with Rob the Original.
Oh, true. Okay. Okay, true,
So
true. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about promoting yourself too, bro, because I know, like we said at the beginning of the interview, I forgot to start recording, bro, so I'm gonna have to throw that back in here. But uh,
okay.
you recently moved from New York to Texas, bro,
Hmm.
and you want to give them a little bit of how to prepare themselves from going from one city or one state to another, because I know it's not as easy as it sounds
For sure.
at all.
So, all right. So, first things first, when you are making a big move from one state to another, I highly recommend calling the Department of Licensing in whatever city or state that you're moving to, because that's how you're going to figure out what you need to do.
Yeah.
So, for me, I already had a 2 year plan. Like me and Leslie, we had a 2 year plan. We were going to be in New York. We had things that we wanted to do, but COVID, it allowed us to move faster. Right now, we're staying in her parents' house with them. They just bought a new house. They had, a couple extra rooms. So, with the whole COVID thing, that's why we were able to just kind of get rid of all of our
Yeah.
stuff and say, you
Yeah.
know what, we'll just go start from scratch, because we got a room,
Uh
and
huh.
our son has a room, and so it is what it is. But what I had already done was called TDRL and say, hey, I'm a barber from New York. What do I have to do to get my license there? Um, and at the time that I called, I had to go back to school for like 500 hours because I had cosmetology and barbering under my belt. So, and I think at that time it was like 1,500 hours for schooling out here for a barber.
Yeah.
Um, so because I had all those hours, I only needed to go back for 500, which would have been a few months. Um, so, anyways, well, the way that it played out for me, they just dropped the hours to 1,000, so I didn't even have to go to school. I had to because I recalled when we figured out that we were just gonna move.
Uh huh.
Um, I recalled again, and they said no. All you need to do is get your credentials. So my schooling, my license had to be up to par,
Updated. Yeah.
and paid. I had to pay the state to send me my files, and then I had to pay like 110 bucks to Texas for them to process it and give me my license. Um, so that's first things first. If when preparing for a move, talk to the Department of Licensing to see what you have to do. So that way that you have enough money. If you
Yeah.
need to, like if you can't get to work right away,
Uh
you
huh.
gotta know that you coming down with enough money to float you.
Yeah.
Um, so like you seen, I went out with the business. I went out with a big billboard, and I passed out cards.
Yeah. That was
Um,
dope, bro. That's
that it brought in
that's
a
leading
couple.
that's leading to the promoting yourself too, bro. That's you can speak a little bit more about that if you want to, bro, because I did see where you were walking and handing out your cards, and bro, that shit's smart, bro. That shit.
So yeah, so I went real hard with that, passing out a bunch of cards just to get my name out there. The other thing that highly suggest is, and this is an Ivan Zoot gem. Do you know who Ivan Zoot is?
Yeah, I know who Ivan is. Yep.
Right. So Ivan, years ago when I first met him and first took his class, he says, you have two business cards. You give them to the client after you get done cutting their hair and ask them to send two of their friends because chances are they will go and send two of their friends.
Yeah.
Um, so that is what I have developed since I learned that. I was like, oh, that's fire. Because I never really started using cards up until, really my move because I built a name for myself over the last 10 years in New York.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, so now, and the only time that I used that was when I opened up my shop. When I opened up my shop and I had new walk-ins, I would say, here's two business cards. Can you send, two of your friends? And, that's how I would use that. But I use that now every single day. Every single person that comes to me and gets a cut, I give them two cards. I say, can you send two of your friends? Um, even if it's my second time, third time cutting them, hey, can you send two of your friends? And if they come back in with a stack of cards, I'll, I'm gonna take the cards and I'm gonna do. Can you send two of
Yeah.
your friends? So
Yeah.
and eventually they will. But I've built a lot of clientele off of just being there,
Yeah.
being in the shop, sitting and waiting, and then word of mouth, and just having people send their friends.
That's smart, bro. That's actually that's pretty. I've never thought about that honestly, bro. But that's real smart.
It works.
That's real smart. Then
It,
about on the stuff. Well, what all do you have in your product, bro? Like, what all do you have to give, or what do you sell, or
what do you mean?
like you said you have your own product, right? Or what was it that you had?
Okay, so I had a pomade, but what I have now is just a texture spray. It's
Oh,
a
okay,
sea
too.
salt. It's a sea salt spray. So I have that. Um, so um, so I had that on my online store, but when we moved, I left a lot of my product and everything that I used to make it there.
Back
We
in.
were supposed to go back, but because of this whole COVID thing, there was like a mandatory
Yeah.
quarantine, and we haven't been back. So I just got a shipment from one of my buddies. So I do have some products here, but I had to take it off the store because I couldn't keep up with
Yeah.
the
With the
supply and
sales
demand.
and stuff. Yeah. How what are some gems to starting your own line like that, bro? Like, what did you do to start that? How did you promote that? How'd you
Well,
get that out there?
okay, so it all depends on, I guess, so whatever route you want to go. If you want to make it yourself, you have to do all the research. But if you can private label. There's companies that private label. What
Hmm.
private labeling is you reach out to the company. They got a bunch of products you can choose from. You choose the product. They send it to you in bulk, and you just slap a label on it.
Oh,
Right?
dang.
You tell them, you send them the label and whatever. You could customize it or you could get the flat rate or a flat product, whatever it is. And I did that too. I did go that route. I did that for a while. But really, when it comes to having your own products, you just got to put yourself out there. Like for me, I built it like just being at these shows
Yeah.
and showing people what it does. So, that's the way that I built mine and awareness of my products. You can invest in advertisements and stuff, and,
Hmm.
it takes a lot of money to do all that. But, I just have so much going on. I got my hands in this and, hands in that, and I'm always doing something. And now I got the baby. So, and I got the girl, and, we're trying to figure it out. Like, dropping new T-shirts,
Yeah.
like
I'm
so
gonna have to
I,
cop one of those.
yeah,
Have to
bro,
cop
for
one, bro.
sure. I haven't released them, but they'll be up on the store soon. You'll see it.
I'll be
So
I'll be buying
I've been
them for
working on
sure.
a bunch of things, a bunch of new things, um, and yeah, just as far as getting your product out there, you just got to get uncomfortable, and and start. You got to give shit away for free,
Yeah.
and sample products, and that's really what it takes. You can take a lot of L's in the
Yeah.
beginning.
A lot of people don't like to talk, bro, but one thing is like, man, you got to step out your comfort zone in anything that you want to be successful in. And I noticed that myself too. I was one of those, bro. I couldn't talk. Like, I really never even pictured myself doing this. Like speaking
Yeah.
with y'all, you know, like it's something different to me. It's new, but bro, I enjoy it a lot. And
Oh,
at the same and at the same time, I'm soaking in all this information that y'all are throwing at me, as well as everybody else that's gonna watch this. You know what I'm saying? But
Marvel tell you, bro. When I was first, behind the table and like talking to people, I was terrible. I couldn't talk to nobody. I could, but it was bad. Could
yeah,
I sell a product? Hell no. Um, I had one of my first shows, and my first show that I launched, I think I made $100. Um, bro. I didn't profit off my shows. Um, Geez, for like almost probably 2 years going to shows, I didn't. I was taking L's, L's, L's. There was my second show I think was with Marv, um, that I was a vendor. My pomades were $10, um, and everybody was there. They knew Marv, they didn't know me,
yeah,
and I'm like, yo, check this out. I got pomades. Smell it, whatever. Even then, like, cause you'll notice what people do. They do this. They go, they smell it first,
yeah,
then they touch it. So I wasn't even like, yo, check it out, smell it. Like,
yeah,
I was that guy. Like, yeah. So I got a product. I make it myself, and then I wouldn't
yeah,
know, how to carry that conversation.
yeah.
Uh, but I had to literally, I was like, you know what, I'm not selling, so let me just drop the price a little bit.
Uh huh.
So then I dropped it from like, maybe it was like $12. I dropped it to 10. Then I dropped it to $6. I'm like, let me just make some money back off, like, yo, I'm doing $6 for the last hour, and like I got one sale.
It happens, bro. It happens. You gotta start somewhere, right?
Facts, bro.
But that's one thing too, for everybody that's listening on here. Well, I think everybody hopped off of here, but I'm live too on my Facebook. But you can't be discouraged about stuff like that, because when you're trying to start something, it's not always gonna be successful when you first start. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like never. It's not always. Some people do get lucky and it does help them. You know,
Hmm.
but it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, most people don't get lucky overnight, man.
I'm telling you. I'm gonna ask you just a couple more questions about. I think I got like three about some of your posts, bro, that I seen, and then we can close this out.
For sure, for sure. I gotta put my son down.
Yeah, for sure. Quick. What are some ways to make money as a barber, bro? I seen that on one of your posts.
Okay, so one is up, like, as all right. So let elaborate a little bit more on your question, like making money as a barber. What do you
As
mean by
far
that?
as like, how do you? Oh, okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make it exactly how you posted it on your post,
Okay.
without changing your numbers, without moving your numbers. How you said last time? You said something about um raising your prices without raising your numbers or something like that.
So okay, so you can raise your price. Like, I'd rather cut less heads and get more money,
More
right?
money. Yep.
So so it's like, okay, like the way that I was able to do that was by one, going to classes and
Yeah. That's a
learning new
key.
techniques, buying my shears, buying my new clippers, investing in myself. And when your clients see that you're investing in yourself, you're also investing in them.
Uh huh.
Um, that'll put more money in your pocket. And when you're learning new techniques and you're really stepping yourself apart from uh, whatever barbers are around you that aren't doing little things, enhancements, learning how to style the hair. Like, you're gonna get paid for that.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen actually a lot of barbers that throw that in there, and man, bro, it's a lot of people. You know, there's barbers who will cut and don't style, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's barbers who cut and style everything that they do. Nine
That's
times
what
out
I
of
do.
ten, the styling is gonna help them gain
Mm-hmm.
that clientele. You know, coming back, be a forever client. We'll put
Every
it that
single
way.
facts.
Put it
Every
that way.
single person that comes into my chair, I don't care if they're bald, bro. I shine their head, or I'll just put, if they don't like the shine, I'll give them a little lotion, whatever,
Yeah.
and just smooth it
Show
out.
them,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
dry and stuff. Then
Yeah.
next question, bro. I seen where you posted everybody gets knocked down. What are you gonna do when you get back up, or when you get up?
Hmm.
That is probably one of my favorite ones, bro.
That's fire, right?
Yep.
bro, because too many people get knocked down and then just stay there.
Discouraged.
Too
That's
many
the
too
main
many
thing.
people, like how many times I've been knocked down, like going to these shows and just getting discouraged, or like there's so many times where I could have been like, yo, fuck this.
Yeah, for real. For
Like,
real.
but it's just like, are you gonna take it as you gonna take the L as a lesson, or
Yup.
you gonna just fucking you gonna go belly up?
You're just gonna stop and be in the same position where you're at now.
Hmm.
That was my thing, bro, and it's weird, but honestly, what made me really think about stuff like that was I don't know if you listen to rap or whatever, but Nipsey Hussle, have you heard his?
I love
Bro,
Nipsey.
he's in, bro. His music actually pushed me to do everything that I do, cause he says those exact words, bro. Like you're not gonna succeed without having downfalls. It comes
Hmm.
with it. You know what I'm saying? It comes with it. So
Hmm.
like, bro, that's one of my main things about this too, because I know quite a bit of people who they'll either go compete and they'll get discouraged because they didn't win nothing, or they'll compete multiple times and get discouraged because they didn't win nothing, or they'll try to open up a shop and they don't work from the first time. But
Hmm.
man, like I always say, like try again. Try
Yep.
again. You never know when it'll work for you, because if you don't
Real.
stop trying, eventually it's gonna work. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yes,
You can
sir.
you gotta figure out what messed you up at the beginning and correct that your next time trying. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Then
bro.
last one, bro, respecting your schedule. That's a big one in our industry.
Okay. Yes. Like, so how about this? We live in a world, right, where, and I literally, it's funny you said that because like I got a video that I want to do on this, but um, we live in a world now where it's not like you still have the old heads who come in and they want to chill and they want to chop it up, or you
Yeah.
still got those people who will like sit and wait. But what in 2020, bro, everybody's on a schedule.
Yo.
Everybody's got shit to do. Okay,
Exactly.
when they book an appointment with you and they use Booksy or they use a app, whatever app you use, and they plug it in, they want to be in at 2 o'clock.
Bro.
They don't want to sit, bro.
Yes.
They can see 10 minutes. They can see, because
Yes.
most people get like if somebody's late, there's usually a chain effect that might
Yo.
push you back. But like I tell my people, yo, you booked a 25-minute slot and you 15 minutes late.
Yo.
The only thing that I'm doing for you is edging you up.
Yo.
So either I'll edge you up, like you have 10 minutes left of your appointment time,
Yo.
or I tell them no, I'm not doing it. There's been a few people where I've said where they've called me after their appointment and they already missed it or whatever, and I make them pay because you took a spot from somebody else who really
Exactly.
wanted to get in, and like so yeah, I respect their time just like they
Respect
hopefully
yours.
respect
Yeah.
mine. And the more people that don't respect my time, I've cut them off.
Yeah,
I block.
that's me too, bro. Because I actually, like the guys in the shop, they give me hell about that. Cause like I go through Booksy, bro, and I
Hmm.
said I have my cuts at 30 minutes. If they
Hmm.
have a beard, I'll do it 40.
Hmm.
And if they're 5, 10 minutes late, I'm canceling it. I'm sorry if they don't let me know. I mean, if they call me and text me like 30, 40 minutes before, let me know. Hey, bro, I'm gonna be a little late. All right, I'll text my next client, be like, hey, bro, can you come in at this time? I got a client that's gonna be a little bit late. Y'all want to replace? If not, it's cool. If
Hmm.
you can, then it works out perfect.
Hmm.
And they give me hell about that because I'll cancel the appointment, bro, if they're 5 minutes late or 10 minutes. Because if I get that one in by the time I put them in the chair, by the time I put the next strip, the cape,
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
10, 15 minutes behind. Then it's gonna put me 10, 15 minutes behind my next one and the one after
Right.
and the one after.
Right. Because
Like
here's the other thing. Like, here's the other thing. When you got people like that, bro, it's usually the same people. It's
yeah,
usually the same
it
people who
is.
are always late, and they do this right, and they know that they're late. They know, and they just come strolling in, but they take their time taking their jacket off, and it's like
Yeah,
you ain't the only one getting a cut today. I
yeah,
hate those types of people, and like, I in New York, I had it pretty much. I weeded all those people out. Like everybody that I had was respectful. Everybody that I had was like on time, and it took me 10 years to build that. But and right now, so check this out. Right now, I'm not booked like that.
yeah,
So people who are late, I let them know.
Oh yeah.
So if they're late with me right now, and they're rebooking and they're coming back, I just had to do this last week. I said, listen, right now I don't have no problem.
Hmm.
You want to let me know you're running a few minutes late? That's fine. But when I get booked and I'm on a schedule back to back, I said, listen, I'm I just I won't be able to do this.
Yeah.
I let them know, like, if you're that type, like, I'm letting you know how I run my business. This is how I run my business. I even have it on my booksy right in the top. It says, I care about my craft and I care about like people's time. I forget exactly what it says, but it says I run on time. I
Uh
run
huh.
on so like I think that has helped me get people in too, because when they go to my booksy or they see my booksy pop up, like one of the first things they say that it says is I run on time.
Yeah. That's a good thing though, bro. That's another thing too, because a lot of people they'll book and then take advantage and show up later and then be pissed off because you can't get them. But like, bro, it's not like they'll never understand our position, and you can tell them as many times as you want, but they'll still like,
Mhm.
oh well, I set an appointment. Yeah, bro, you set an appointment at 9:30 and it's about to be 10.
Mhm.
Like, you show up to the doctor's office late. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
no.
Right. Right.
So it's like, but hey, man, I really appreciate you hopping on this, bro. Like, for real,
Problem,
I
man.
enjoyed
Thank
it,
you
bro. And I was honestly, you made it real comfortable for me. You're cool about it. I like it, bro.
for
I'm gonna
sure.
keep in touch with you, man, and I definitely want to try some of your product, bro. So I'm gonna holler at you later on for that too. But
Definitely.
I appreciate this, bro, for real. And shout out to everybody again for the sponsoring. Shout out to Cactus House for letting me use their equipment, man. And shit, I'm gonna holler at you, Jay, for real.
For real. Yeah. Definitely. Maybe we could set this up where we won't be VIA.
Hey, for real.
Soon.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
We
Soon, bro.
kind of we
Soon.
kind of close. So
Once everything. Well, I usually make a trip out there to Houston. I'm a big Rangers fan, bro, and I don't hate Houston. It's another Texas team, but I go out there a lot for that too, most of the time. But shit, thanks again, bro, and then I'll keep in touch with you, dog.
for
I
sure.
appreciate you again, brother, and
I go.
stay blessed, man. May
Cam,
God
thank you, man.
may God bless you and your family, bro, and improve you in Texas, bro, and have a good one, bro. I
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate you
yeah, for
again, brother.
sure. I'm dropping new shirts. I'm doing the YouTube. I'm gonna keep dropping my heat on my Instagram, and and keep moving forward. You'll see a lot more of my Texas stuff. So I can't wait to talk to you next time. Again, stay in contact through the DMs, bro.
No doubt, bro. And then with that too, I'll go ahead and post your Instagram and stuff so they can follow you, get some more content for everybody that wants to dig a little deeper into what you talk about, bro.
For sure, bro. Thank you.
Have a good one, man. Good night, man. And
All right, man.
talk to you next time.
Later.
Later.